thank you for joining the show this evening. Truth to Power, Truth to Power War Room. This evening, our conversation is about real black love. Does it exist? Some people call it toxic relationships. However, you want to phrase it, the relationships between black men and black women, and how we got here, and how the narrative has changed. Um, Over the past few years, and all we hear is, quite frankly, to be just blunt about it, black men ain't shit, black women ain't shit. And what we're here to address is how did we get here, and how do we move from that by changing the narrative. This is not meant to be, a fuss fest or what is commonly known as a bitch fest, but um, we are here to hear everybody's opinion, both men and women, from several different generations. I've asked different people from, just about every age group, to join us this evening for the conversation because we want to know where it's coming from. Because those that I am in a circle with, I don't hear them saying that. So I want to know where it's coming from. With me this evening, I have Sister Abungu Chuma. How you doing this evening, Sister?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much. So, we want to start the conversation by discussing the narrative, right? The obvious, where we are being completely disrespectful to one another, at some point or another. And it has gone far beyond us even being able to have a conversation with one another to the point that um, black women feel like black men don't even like them anymore. And when I hear some of the brothers say, I'm so tired of hearing, people say that. I'm so tired of hearing women say all men ain't shit, and women saying that men are saying it. And there's a great offense taken because people don't just say, well, the people I deal with ain't shit. Or they never say I ain't shit. So can you help me with your thoughts on that and where you think this is coming from?
Yeah, well, I really in my humble, I'm gonna stay humble for a little bit, opinion, believe it's so much of a lack of comprehension, communication, and it's so much resentment because I have this discussion slash argument every day, everywhere I go, because everything that I do is I'm predominantly around men, you know, and I'm predominantly around black men. And they always start off the conversation. Women these days, they ain't this, they ain't that, blah, blah, blah. And I be like, what about y'all? I mean, if you want to lead us, then we're only reflecting what you all have shown us. Um, I'm just gonna I'm tell you something, let me tell you a little story, right? It actually just happened 10 minutes before the show. And
Okay.
my son gonna kill me for telling you this, but this is a perfect example. My son has been with his wife for 10 years. Everything under the sun. I'm not really telling his business because a lot of people that know me understand the circumstances. So he calls me upset because he finds out that she been kind of doing her thing. And
Mm.
he's just devastated. He's like, Mom, I'm about to go to jail. I'm like, for what? And he like, well, mind you, I don't like my daughter-in-law. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't like me and her cool or nothing. But like, Mom, she out doing this and I'm here with the kids and blah 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 and everything. And I'm
Mm.
like, but what have you? I mean, you've been doing this to that girl for 10 years. Everybody gets tired. So my
Mm.
point is to tell you that is when we do things, we don't do things thinking how it's going to affect somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm.
trauma, the drama, whatever. We don't do those things, and when it comes back to us, we don't know how to handle them. That's how a lot of men are. A lot of men like to set rules and tones in
Mhm.
situations, but it's for
Mhm.
them. But when we
Mhm.
agree to them and we follow suit, then we the worst things ever. So,
Mhm.
so let's be fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so my thing is the whole welfare thing. You know, every black man will be like, "Oh, the system was created for black women, and black women destroyed the house or the home." And I'd be like, "Well, why would I have ever been in need of welfare if you did what you were supposed to do?"
Indeed.
Because I'd rather have a man working 4 hours a week helping me pay than get a damn wage check in public housing.
Indeed.
And you never really see a woman that lives in a project that ain't got a man living there. So you benefiting too. You see what I'm saying? You're just not
Mhm.
on the
Paying rent.
contract.
Yeah, there are men that intentionally seek out women who get assistance because that's less that he has to do. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it
so pick a
make life.
side.
Yeah, pick a
So
side.
pick a side and stick to it. Like voice of that argument and stick to it because it's a lot of contradiction and there's no correction. You know what I'm saying? If you want
Mhm.
me to be a valuable woman, you be a valuable man. Let me see what you working with. Because
Mhm.
maybe you can teach me to be how you want me to be. You see what I'm
Indeed.
saying? Instead of just
Mhm.
trying to abstract from me whatever you feel like you can obtain.
Mhm.
And so and it's a long term issue. It ain't happening in my generation. You know what I'm
No.
saying? If you look at my grandparents, my grandparents been married 60 years. They got 13 children together.
Mm.
Probably 10 of them belong to my granddaddy. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
But the three that didn't belong to him was conceived while he was out doing what? Make
Mhm.
outside babies. And the
Mm.
only reason why that affects him more because he got to look at her mistakes. She don't have to look at his.
Indeed.
But
Indeed. And
you set the
indeed.
tone
Yeah.
because you removed yourself from the position to even for her to even be in a position to, you know what I'm saying, create that situation with somebody else. So, like you said,
Mhm.
sis, we all have to be held accountable for the part we play. It's no blame game. It ain't no it's more the men than it is the women because I say all the time, our men wouldn't be in the condition that they are in if our women would get it together. Because it's so many side chicks now. This is the era of the side chick. So even if
Man.
I had a husband,
Where'd
he
that
gonna be
term
sleeping with
come
somebody else.
from? It never used to be
I think
called a
SZA
side
came out
chick.
with it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it never used to be called a side chick. It was that he had another woman. Like, when did it become
Another
side,
woman or a mistress.
side dude, side chick? These back in our elders' days, those men had a whole an entire another household, right?
Right.
Because the women did not work or make as much money back then. They just dealt with it, and moved on. Now, if you were a woman of a certain type and you say, for instance, you go out and get a baby on your husband, then you're the worst thing walking this earth. You know,
Exactly.
you definitely have to
Exactly.
hide that. And you know, so many people, they dish out, but they can't take, of course. Because you cheat on a man like
And
your
you know
son
what?
say, I'm about to go. He ready to throw it all away. He ready to throw
But
it
you know
all
what? And
away.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Because my grandmother cheated on my grandfather, my mother did not chance with my dad.
Oh
Because
wow.
day one, my dad was trauma based on how he felt about his mama, based off of what my granddaddy said about her. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But he
Hmm.
never looked at the fact that your dad out there rocking, he was a rolling stone. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He did what he wanted. He even brought his women to my grandmother's house and made my grandmother cook her dinner. You
Oh
see what I'm
my.
saying? So you ask me, well, ask yourself, how do what's the expectations to cope with that? How do you, especially like you said back then, she had but to stay with my granddaddy because it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, how she gonna maintain all that by herself. And the
Right.
men knew this.
Hmm.
They knew that they were the strength of that household back then, and they were the primary caretakers, so they could do what they.
Exactly.
And just
Now,
because
times have changed.
you can, right, just because you can violate, like people tell me all the time, right? You too soft, you too nice, this, that, and the 30 this way. No, I shouldn't. I ought to be what I am. But just
Hmm.
because you can take advantage of, you know what I'm saying? That's what they
Hmm.
do. Because
Yes.
see, at the end of the day, you're yourself. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because
Exactly.
when I become what you are, you're not gonna be able to deal with it.
But look, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know
I'm
that
telling
saying. It ain't
you,
fun when the rabbit got the gun. And the thing of it
absolutely.
is, if everyone would be responsible for their own actions, like good people know they're good people, and I firmly believe that shitty people know they're shitty. When you're doing something to
Mm.
someone, whether you're a male or a female, you know when it doesn't feel good. You know when you're doing somebody wrong, and then you continue, and then when they don't react to your treatment in the way that you think they should, just let it go. Then there's anger, there's resentment, there's just so many facets, right? And just speaking from, different age groups, I want to bring in another guest. Um we'll call her Miss Marie. She is in the age group of the 20s, okay? And I want to hear her perspective on how things are being done in her age group and how they deal with it, because we're going to work our way up, right? Because I have an opinion about it, of course, and I'm very open-minded about relationships, and I believe people should love the way they want to, but a fair exchange ain't no robbery, right? So we
Right.
can't tell our kids to be one way when we're being another. So,
Mhm.
Miss Marie, you ready? Miss D, Deja, are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you speaking? Are you there? I can't hear you. Okay, while she gets that together, we are going to go to our chat box. And so I have some ladies in here that said these are different times. I'm so grateful for my independence. And I think that's one of the things that's almost shot us in the foot. We do have some male guests that are coming on here shortly to give some input, because, of course, I don't want this to just be one sided. I need to hear, no, this is not a male bashing session. We want everybody accountable, because I'm gonna be honest with you, brother Ammo Shock, brother Ammo Shock Troop. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've said all week, let every hit dog holler. I know more. Excuse the phrase. I know more women that are dogs than men. I'm just keeping it, because I know some women that are rough, and they learned their
But
behavior
this,
from the mistreatment of
but
men.
this is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the perfect example, say, is no comprehension. If I'm telling you what the issue is on my end, instead of
Mhm.
taking offense, is male bashing. Anytime a woman, you know what I'm saying, want to express herself about what's wrong with our relationship, because it's our relationship too, it becomes
Exactly.
male bashing. I had told you earlier, sis, and I'm just gonna put it out here. I feel like the reason why so many men had an issue with the woman king, which I love, preach out woman king. I'm just playing,
Come
but
on, come on.
I believe I believe the reason why so many men had an issue with it because they got to view black women in a character of strength outside of the recovery of what we've been put through our men. right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let me explain
Mm-hmm.
it, because most black men don't value us as strong women unless we have been able to endure the things they put us through, the abuse, the neglect, the abandonment, raising children by ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being just out here having to handle stuff. So when we recover from that and we can still raise our children on our own and maintain a clean house and pay our own bills and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
then it's your, if we're warriors or outside with y'all, having y'all back or beside y'all, walking on the front line with you, then it's like y'all emasculating us. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all trying to be men. It ain't nothing manly about me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
You dig
everything I
what I'm
do is male
saying?
dominant.
Exactly.
Huh?
Well, we were exactly, and we're forced to do what we have to do. When you have a
Exactly.
child, you have to. You no longer have the sense of security or support. You can't depend on that, right? So when you have a child, you may as well be ready to raise that child on your own to the best of your ability, because he can walk away if he want to. Well, hell, women walk away. There have been women that say, "I can't do this. I'm not for being a mother. I'm not nurturing. I don't want to raise no kids. Here's your baby. I'm out." Right? And then she becomes what is typically known as, a bad mother, or she's a scum of the earth because she gave birth to it. Then she should be attached to it.
Mhm.
She should commit. He didn't commit, because we all know commitment is a strange thing. When I tell you that's a strange bedfellow, because
Yeah.
I know anybody that commits to anything, once you commit to it, you become attached to it. So to remove the attachment, they don't commit. So it makes it easier for people to move around from things that they're not committed to. Um,
Mhm.
you deal with what you have to deal with in the best way you can. And then, depending on your personality, you have to go outside of who you are, right? To basically give them what they
Absolutely.
give you instead of just walking away, right? Um,
Right.
Deja, are you ready now? Turn your camera off, and I want to turn this one on. Okay, can you speak
Hear
now?
me? Can you
Yes,
hear
now
me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great.
Now I want to
Um,
know what it's like for you in your age group. You're in your early 20s. What is the narrative about black men and black women in your age group?
well, I guess I'll start with this. I think that there's a lot of overlap between the age groups because I think it has a lot more to do with just the black community as a whole and
Mhm.
a lot of our parents and grandparents and great grandparents and their households. Earlier, you guys were talking about how a lot of men had another woman back in the day and they had a whole other family and people were having, babies outside of their marriage and things like that. And I think that
Mhm.
because of all of that, because of that background, young people today, a lot of young black people have yet to see what a successful relationship looks like and what a functioning relationship is supposed to look like. So I think that a lot of that negative narrative about black women and black men is really just about men and women because we don't know how it's supposed to work.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that a big problem in the black community as a whole is people, our people were so scared to, go to counseling, go to therapy, and really dig deep and try to figure out how we're supposed to break these generational curses. And I think
Mhm.
until we really are able to look inwards without shame, and truly ask for help, then we'll be able
Mhm.
to see ourselves in a more positive light. I think a lot of that negative back and forth is because we don't value ourselves. As a black woman, you shouldn't have to look to a black man to feel like you're worthy enough of anything. And same as a black man, you shouldn't have to feel held up by a black woman, though you should. And I think if we
Mhm.
loved ourselves, it'd be easier for us to love each other.
Indeed. Well, do you think that in your generation, I do think that times have changed. There's always been interracial mixing of, of
Mm,
generation. I mean, of couples and and whatever. But I do think that it's more widespread now. Would you agree that in your generation that you guys are more open to dating outside your race because of that stigma or that
Absolutely.
narrative?
Absolutely. I'd say most of my friends are in interracial relationships. My boyfriend is not black, actually.
Hmm.
And I think that's cool, you know, that we're open minded enough to be able to look beyond just our skin types, our skin colors, you know, and see that, wow, we actually have stuff in common with other people, you know? And that's it. I think it's really cool to be able to teach people about your culture and you learn about other people's cultures. But at the same time, are we doing that subconsciously because it's a self-esteem issue and we don't want to date in our race even if we're not thinking about that, you know? That's something to
Hmm.
really think about. I think that goes back to the whole counseling thing about really looking inward and being as self-aware as we possibly can be, because that's not something that we were taught by a lot of our parents and grandparents, you know?
Hmm.
So it seems nice and it's like in this nice little bow, but deep down, why are we more open? Is it as good? Sure, it's a good thing always to, you know, be inclusive, but what's really the root of that?
Okay. So, do you have a preference?
I don't think I do personally. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's really cool to be able to meet somebody with your same culture and y'all just understand each other. You know, you understand the jokes, and you go to his mama's house, he's cooking the same food that your mom will be cooking, you know?
Hmm. Right.
And less to explain, which is nice. It's almost like not in a weird way, but almost like a brother sister type thing, you know? Like, you know,
Hmm.
like you come from the same place, which I
You
think is
can
really
relate.
cool. Yeah, you can relate, which is an important part of any relationship.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, like learning about a different other culture or somebody else's background is interesting and it's fun, but at the same time, you never want to feel like you're on completely different planets, you know?
Right. Right. Well, this is also a question I have. Do you feel that you're treated differently,
I
or do
will
you get the same respect on both planes from either race?
I'll say this. I am hit on much more by white men than black men.
Hmm.
And when white men hit on me, it's, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, oh my God, you're just so great. They want to, I think white men, or at least I can only speak from my own perspective, my own personal experiences. They try to woo me more than black men have. Not
Uh-huh.
that that's a bad thing, just something that I've noticed. Whereas, I don't know, maybe it goes back to that self-esteem thing. Maybe black men just don't put, or a lot of them don't put black women on as high of a pedestal, you know?
Hmm.
When I have dated white men, oftentimes, like, don't get me wrong, I've dated a black guy, he's been cool too, you know? But I think in the initial stages, at least, white men try a little harder. And maybe that's because they feel like they have to try a little harder because they feel like you're not going to like them, you know?
Maybe. And they might have a little insecurity, so they try a
Right.
little harder because they know they coming from the outside, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Uh,
Okay.
but at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of, you have to be very careful dating outside of your race, being black, because you don't know if somebody's family, you're going to get to know them and they secretly don't like black people, or, you know, their
Hmm.
great great granddaddy had slaves. And,
Oh, see what
you
I'm
know?
saying? That's the problem I have with it. And in all honesty, a black man can't do enough to me for me to go to the other side. But then I'm old, and I'm not going I'm not going through any of that foolishness by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not trying it. It does not interest me because I know the first argument we have, he gonna call me out my name, and it's gonna be on and cracking. You know.
And it's gonna be
But
on
I
and
do.
popping.
You hear me? But I do think that as women, we set the tone for how the relationship is going to go from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I do believe that. And if you should meet someone that interests you and you're interested in them equally, and you're not on the and you if you're not on the same page, why does no one walk away? Can somebody answer that for me?
That's a self-respect thing.
Would you
Well, I
agree?
don't necessarily think it's just self-respect. I think it's hope too. I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think a lot of us as black women, we genuinely want to see our men winning. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I believe in the times we hold on in that can kind of cross the line together, because if I go into a relationship, I can't expect no more from this man going on. And I got trauma.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got trauma that's probably gonna be with me forever. And I got triggers and I got things that I have to deal with within myself. It doesn't mean that I don't have any respect for myself. It just means that I know there are things that I'm gonna have to live with. It's all kind of like you know, I don't even have a good example right now, but sometimes I believe that in the process of getting to know each other, sometimes you can't be that example for that person. Not saying that you can change them, not saying you want to change them, but sometimes you can show them that things exist that they never existed, and the reason why they act a certain things existed. So I believe that's why
Mhm.
sometimes even though we see red flags, we okay, well maybe we can get past it, or we can work. We get to know each other more. We'll understand why this and why. Also, we'll have to say when it is a see.
Uh-oh.
A lot of times, as women, we're made to feel guilty because we don't accept a lot from these men. You know what I'm saying? Well, he been through this and he went to prison and he a new man and he blah yada yada, and he just need the love of a black woman. That's game, you know. So I feel like, and also we're so limited on men. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not an interracial dater, and I ain't gonna lie, when I sit here and sometimes I cry at night, like this is really my life, saying because I'm probably gonna die single because there's not enough men out here that qualify for me, and they say qualify,
Mhm.
but I just don't see myself going outside what we have, which is our culture, because me being, me at my age, with my parents and my family members being from Mississippi, seeing things that they had to endure, it's no way I can deal with a white man. None.
I
And the
will
things
say,
that I still experience, I see my children experience now, it's no way. Because even though when you got people that say, I'm not racist, I didn't own any slaves, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, white people have the power to get together and change the conditions that we are in, but they're not going, because it gives up certain privileges they have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, everybody still know what positions they're in. So I'm not, and I feel
Mhm.
like to self-respect yourself, where is the respect for your ancestors that went through the thing their ancestors put them through? Like, you can't erase that, and you can't apologize for that, and you can't whitewash that. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? It's there. It's not going nowhere. So I just, I do have to disagree on that particular part. But as far as why do we hold on? Because we are all
Mhm.
we got from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if I gave a laugh that says something that rubbed me the wrong way, then I just give up on my people. Period. Because I do have sons. And the crazy
Mhm.
thing about it, I have two sons. I have a son that's 100% a good man, and I have a son that's 100% not a good man. And they was both raised by me, and they was both from, my teachers, they grew up in this so-called mindset or revolutionary style or whatever else. And I have one that went in that direction, and I have one that went in that direction. You see what I'm saying? So my point to this is, for whatever reason, this son that went the wrong way, I would hope that he's not giving up on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would hope that somebody don't run across him and say, you know what? You just ain't nothing. It's no you. So I'm just done. Let me run to a white man because they try just a little harder to get my attention. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just my position on it.
We have another guest joining us right quick. Brother Amun Takala. I'm Hotep. Thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate your presence for the men because we need some representation from the men in our community. Have you heard our conversation up to this point?
I've been trying to get in and out of the link, yeah. So I've heard some points where I was going, I gotta get in, but some things were well understood, and just some. I heard some frustrations and I heard some scenarios, but I didn't get the full grasp. You know what I mean?
Well,
Enough to be.
we're trying to come to here is how did we get to this point with this narrative of all men ain't shit, all women ain't shit, instead of people saying, the people I deal with ain't shit or I ain't shit, right?
Okay. Well, I could definitely answer that one for you.
Mm-hmm.
We dwell in the realm of lack of self accountability. It's everybody else's fault but ours. I met a bad man. You chose to be with a bad man, but most likely you probably met several good men but decided to curb them for this bad man. I met a bad woman. You probably had several good women come your way, but you opted for the bad woman. Like I told you not too many days ago, my sister, there's a comedic lesson. This universe is built on balance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's both positive and negative. And because this universe is taking a polar shift to the negative, we're still in the balance, but that balance is a negative balance. Instead of being accountable to self, we're trying to find somebody to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to find some strength within self and some wisdom within self to try to get to our, what we say in Comedicism, our solum bonum or our greatest self, we're too busy trying to say, well, it's your fault. Very narcissistic mindset we have these days. Extremely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All the way down to the gender wars. And that absolutely has to end. Because there's only one race of people that's having a gender war.
And that's us.
Yep.
That's us.
You know
And that's my question. How is it in other ethnicities and other cultures that they know how poorly we treat each other? We don't now. I don't run in circles with Hispanics or Caucasians, but how is it they know all our business?
it's our
They
fault.
make jokes about how we treat each other.
We're telling them. I've been to places, I've had discussion with brothers and sisters alike. I've heard brothers sitting around their white friends talk about black people like they got tails and they darker than me. I've heard sisters do the whole black men ain't shit and they saying it to white women. Here's the fun part, folks. How many times have you heard a white woman say white men ain't shit?
Never in my a couple.
How
Well, I
many
don't
times?
say never. A couple of times, but she talked about him specifically. She don't say them as a whole. Yeah.
Right. We are the only race that will sit up there and say our men or our women ain't shit because we've had a few bad experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't dated every black woman on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have the right to say black women ain't shit, especially being that the woman that had me is a beautiful black woman. The woman I call mama. So how dare I disrespect even my mother by saying black women ain't shit? How dare you disrespect your father by saying black men ain't shit?
Right. Right.
How dare you? And if you're the men in your life, and I tell these sisters, I'm like, how many male friends do you have? I got a lot of them. So you saying they ain't shit? So you got a son, right? Yeah. So you saying he ain't shit?
Right.
Because they ain't gonna stay little boys forever.
Exactly.
You know. So
Exactly.
at the end of it, we refused a while back to look in the self and go, it's my fault. That's what they call. That's why I tell people that's what they call it issues. It's issues because it's you.
That's what I say. If all your relationships are ending the same, you are the common denominator. We're our own common denominator. It's not something wrong with everybody but you. Like, check
Right.
yourself. You know,
Right.
people's egos are out of control. They have expectations up here and they sit down here. Get that shit level. You are not who you think you are. You
Right.
know, whether you be a man or a woman, you're not who you think you are.
And
And
see,
as soon as those games run out, you get
Mhm.
mad
and
because
you know
people don't
what?
want
We
no more.
also,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we also have a habit of trying to accessorize ourselves with a mate. You know what I'm saying? Like we pick mates
Mm-hmm.
that we feel make us look good. Like a pair of shoes or a necklace or you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times we get into a relationship with somebody, let's say for example, I meet a dude, I'm liking him, he liking me, we vibing, whatever, but he smoked. You know, when I met him, he smoked. I'm willing to deal with it then because I want to get to know him. I want to be in a relationship or a situation with him, right? But as
Mm-hmm.
we go on, I start saying, well, I don't like you smoke, so you're going to
But
stop
you knew he
smoking.
smoked when you got
And I don't
here.
like how you wear your hair, so you need to cut your hair.
But yeah, but he
Exactly.
had
And
that
if you
in
notice, that's what we do a lot of times in relationships. We accept things at the bare minimum in the beginning. And then we start adding standards as we go along.
Who is
You know
we?
what
But
I'm
see,
saying? And then when it doesn't work out in our favor, then we
him.
feel they wrong for not conforming to what we want. You see what I'm
So when
saying?
you say we, are you
See,
saying
I'm gonna
women
be
or
honest,
you?
right?
So when you say
I'm
we, are
just
you
saying
saying
in
women?
general, I'm saying we because I have to include myself. I'm just saying, well, women, I think men do it too, but I'm just really speaking on the position of women because I'm a woman, you know what I'm saying? And I know
Mm-hmm.
how
Gotcha.
we talk about things and, you know, little talks that we've had. And I see how my friend girls, you know, and my daughter-in-law treat the men in their life, you know, but I'm going to be honest about myself. I've never really probably honored a good man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
not that I, not that I want to be a man, but at the time when I felt like I needed control, it was just easier to control a bum. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing. All right, come on over here with me. I'll put some shoes on your feet. I'll give you a couple of dollars in your pocket. But this is what I need from you because I needed you to accessorize me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Almost kind of like a trophy. Open here and look like the man that I need you to look like and do the things that I need you to do. And that's it. But in the process, you don't expect the rebellion or the buck back. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mm-hmm.
when you not only not do as I say, and then you get to be your own person and start dealing with other people and start doing other things, then I feel violated. I feel disrespected.
Yeah, because you
And
know
can I
what?
so
say something
Somebody
to
this
you?
is
always
how
got
I
better
grew up
game
as
than
a
you,
woman. You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's always somebody with better game, better conversation, than the last. What would you like to say, Brother Moon?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
That's what the sister touched on, which was wisdom, is actually the biggest Achilles heel to our um, relationship realm in regards to us as a people. We have this gender war because everybody's trying to control each other. I'm your mate, not your employee.
Mhm.
I'm your mate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your child. And if I
Mm-hmm.
seek to date a sister, I don't seek to date a sister that's less than me. I seek to date a sister that's more than me. In other words, I see her as more than me. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
don't say I ain't talking about material because that's another thing with us. We always think this. We immediately think money. No, no.
Hello.
If
Hold
we
on.
say we say we gods or goddesses or whatever like that, I want a woman that you say you the most high. You are direct. Because boy, our sisters will say that we are direct product of the most high. Prove it.
Okay.
God
Sister
build, God
Lunga,
destroy.
Sister Bunga, I'm gonna need you to log out and come back in because your
Yes, ma'am.
connection is real broken up. So can you log out and then come back in?
Okay.
Okay, and I want to
Okay.
bring in Sister Cash X. You ready, sister?
I'm ready.
There you
Hey,
go. Thank you
everybody.
for joining us
Hey,
this evening.
Hey, bro. Forgive the
what's
noise
up,
in the
sis?
background. I'm actually traveling from an event, so I can't control the outside noise at the moment.
Okay, you good.
Okay. So I think my take on it is this. You know, us black women never admit how we love bad boys. We just love them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just the truth. I know for me, that's always been my downfall. But one day I had to think about it. The first bad boy I ever met was not the guy I dated, but it was that uncle, that cousin, that father that just was out in the streets doing what they wanted to do and just bucked the law. You know, that was really
Mm-hmm.
your first love affair with that wild side. And then when you find it in an intimate partner, it's on another level. And before you know it, toxic meets toxic.
Yeah.
And, and when you try to enter another relationship, all that mess, all that gunk is now in your new relationship. A lot of women
Mm-hmm.
don't want to admit that when we are in front of a good man, because we're damaged from old things, we don't know what to do with it. It's new. It's like, what the
Mm-hmm.
hell is this? And we just sabotage it until we get back to another relationship that we trauma bonded with. There's plenty of good black men
Mm-hmm.
out here. I've been married more than once, twice,
Plenty. Plenty.
plenty. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't see it that way. I just don't. I think black men, we expect to have millionaire black men with Dollar Tree attitudes, and it just don't work.
Listen, my mother used to call it having champagne and caviar taste with beer and
Mhm.
tater chip money. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
want more than, be that what you consider yourself to be, and
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with respecting a person that lives a good life, a respectable life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, "Girl, he boring." I'm too old to be dope man's girlfriend. I'm sorry.
Right.
I have never wanted to live that life. I'm not riding. I'm not dying. None of that. Not in
I done
that way.
rolled my last ride. I get it. I
I'm
get it.
not doing it.
Me, me
I'm not
either.
doing it. Yeah, but meet the requirements that you seek. You know what I'm saying? I have another guest called name of E that wants to speak.
Okay.
You ready, E?
Well, now y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, what's going on?
We here this evening. We glad you
Well,
joined us, and we want
excuse my Chipotle.
to
I'm
hear.
listening to a whole lot of things right now that I think a lot of reason y'all having issues, women, like I said, meet your requirements. I mean, you can't
Mhm.
want a good looking man to take care of himself if you don't do the same.
Facts.
And then you also have a lot of women take care of men. When you start taking care of a man, he don't respect you.
Mhm. Mhm.
You want to say the man need a nice car, but you don't have a car.
Mhm.
Facts.
Oh, come on now. Come
In
on,
You talk
sir.
about
Texas.
this, you talk, you talk about this, you talking about this credit bad. You don't your credit score is in the fives.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Come
Mm.
on
mean,
now.
then there are some women also overbid. You have all your
Over.
requirements, but you can't bring to the table what you order from the menu.
Come
It
on
is
now.
what it is.
Come
And
on.
the lady that says she feel like she gonna die that way without a man, that's because she believes that.
Yeah,
Mm.
you gotta pray
Words
for.
have power.
Yeah, you
Yep.
gotta believe in what you're praying for.
And then
You gotta.
Words have power.
no man don't want a woman thinking like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
No,
and
because
don't
they're
want a
automatically
woman
going to
walking
the
through
game
any kind
destroying
of way.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you start dating for potential, you already got a wagon load full of red flags, right?
Mm.
Men don't date women and look at her and go, if she's a little overweight, oh, she has the potential to be fit. A woman will look at a man and say, oh, I can dress him up and he can put on these shoes and this hat and this jacket like he a baby doll. But then when he don't conform, you can cage your bird, then you mad. But
But
he
then
wants to conform, then you mad.
women also have to realize sometimes men are just like what it is pay those cars that you buy as is.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how
No
men can
warranty.
be. You get them as is. You can't be trying to fix it up. They don't come with no insurance. They don't come with no instruction how to treat you. They treat you how you treat yourself.
That's
Yes.
very
Can I
true.
can I interject on that, please?
Uh-huh. Go
Let me
ahead.
let me let me, let me explain to the sisters. Because I do know some sisters literally saying I dated this man thinking that she can change him. First stop. Number one, a man when he changes his life, it's not going to be because of a woman.
Mm-mm.
He
Mm-mm.
changes his life because he
Because he
got
wants to.
tired of the same monotonous bullshit that he's been doing all this time, and
Mhm.
it has been not been getting. It's not been getting results. As you grow older in the years, you start looking at your life saying, "Hey, I'm supposed to have this, but
Hmm.
I don't because for some reason I'm doing things over and over and over again. That's insanity. Something got to shake." I look at myself. All my friends, my close friends in my circle are married. I'm the only one that's single. I'm a year away from 50. Moon, you need to make yourself more available emotionally, mentally. I mean, I know you run a business, but brother, maybe you need to make a little time if you want to date somebody. Because if not, you're gonna be alone forever, and your friends are enjoying and having great lives. You know what I mean? So you start changing some stuff about yourself. You want to refine yourself. A mature man knows to refine himself, not because a woman said so, but because life told me I better get this done. Then I end up meeting a quality woman by accident
Mhm.
because I'm walking in purpose. You know, when in ancient times when kings, that's why they had arranged marriages for kings and queens, for royalty.
Mhm.
I say it all the time.
Mhm.
Kings had arranged marriages because they had shit to do. They were too busy. So for
Mhm.
a queen to catch that king's eye in the middle of him working, she's something. She's something. I'm trying to build a whole empire. You making me stop, hit my brakes, do a whole U-turn, and look at you, have a whole conversation and want to build a life with you while I'm trying to build this empire, which is the most important thing to me, my legacy. Because that's the most important thing to a man, is his legacy.
So when men, you
Mhm.
guys that are tuning in, what I want to know is if you meet a sister and you say, you know what, I'm interested. She says she interested. Okay, you just want to get to know her, take your time, you know. Now I'm finna keep it real. You just want to kick it. You just want to hang out, lay up,
Okay.
do all of that. She want a relationship. You know she want one, but you continuously pursue her, knowing that she wants more, and then you get upset when she keeps bringing it up. You know, y'all have a good time, y'all enjoy each other's company, and then she brings it up here and there, and then the man get all stressed out. I told you I didn't want nothing.
Women
I
do
told
that
you I
same
wanted a
thing too.
relationship. Huh?
That's
I know
called
some
childlike.
women
Yeah, that's what
who
I'm
do that.
saying.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know some
saying
brothers like that. That's
it's
called
both
childlike
ways.
behavior.
Yeah, why
That's
don't
So
called
what? So
somebody
what
walk
happens? What happens
away?
to the deal breaker day?
that's
The
called
deal
childlike
breaker.
behavior. We don't. I mean, real men. We look mature men. We got stuff to do. So I'm not gonna sit up there and just want to kick it with you. I have shit to do. Okay. So
Mhm.
even at my age, if I meet you, you need to tell me what do you want?
Yeah.
All right. I want a relationship. And if you ask me, because I've been asked, what do you bring to the table? I'm a builder, sweetheart. I am the table and I build the table. What you gonna put on it after I build it? I'm
Mhm.
just gonna bring me. Have a nice day.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So why doesn't somebody walk away? You know what? And even still, when you decide, okay, we're gonna give this a try, right? And it doesn't work out for one or the other, and then one or the other gets upset. But you told me you wanted to be with me. But you have a right to change your mind. You
What
have
you
a
been
right
upset
to say
for?
this ain't
We don't
working for
own
me.
each other.
Right.
You don't
And
have a
then
stamp that says the Moon Sakala Emotep Enterprises. Damn.
yeah. And I'm
No,
forever yours and you forever mine. And ain't nobody
no.
going.
If you a baby mama and not a wife, you're not property of the man. Sorry, brothers.
Mhm.
It's facts. All right. She's not your property. So if she goes and dates somebody else, she has your child. You just hope that the man treats your child right. If not, kill the earth over him. It is what it is, right? But at the
Exactly.
same time, sisters, you don't own your man. You don't own that man if y'all ain't together no more.
Mm-mm. You
One
You
didn't
thing
own
my
don't.
them
dad
anyway.
told me he told me young. He told me and all my sisters, right? He said, let me tell y'all something. Don't y'all run around here being free milk. Don't y'all lay with these men 5, 6, 7, 8 years with no commitment. You're gonna have a house and not a ring. So if something happens to that man, his real wife come out the blue and take everything, and you out in the street. He always told me, you know, similar to a dowry. He's like, a man knows if he can see the rest of his life with you in a short time. And I believe that. I used to not believe that, but I do now. I really do. And I think that we just gotta start. It starts with how we talking to each other. One, you know, we gotta start talking so hard to each other. And I realized just through life experiences that a woman is only feminine in a soft place when it's created for her, when she can trust in me and she will. So if she is still talking to you harsh and hard, you might not be that place that she can be vulnerable. And that might be the lesson. That might need to be something you need to be in tune to. Doesn't mean something's wrong with the guy. You're just not that guy.
That's another point of confusion I have with us, you know, because that masculine, feminine energy stuff. Look, first of all, everybody, male or female, has a balance of both. That's one. Two, the problem I see in that, you know, and I love my sister. That's my girl, right? That's my heart. But I'm gonna keep this like I used to say, because I'm from Cali. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky salad, not potato salad.
Yeah.
Yep.
You talking to me harsh has nothing to do with masculine or feminine energy. It has everything to do with your lack of decorum and lack of home training. You don't talk to no other adult. Scientifically, let's just keep it all the way real. All right, let's throw the consciousness out of it. Let's talk science.
We having real conversation tonight. Because if I hear that term one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of somebody.
Right.
Because
let me just
people being offended by it.
Let me just talk science. Let me just spit science for a second, and I'm gonna shut up, please. When sisters and brothers, when a sister's combative to a brother, you send out a pheromone. There's actually a literal chemical in your body that is called a pheromone. You can use it to attract someone. You could use it to repel someone. So when you talk aggressive to a man who is mostly testosterone, that is called a challenge factor. You are saying you want to fight. You're telling his body on a scientific chemical level that he wants to fight. Think I'm lying? You think I'm playing? In the animal kingdom, the same damn thing. If a young lion walks up to a male lion, that young lion has two options: chill the fuck out or throw them hands. And as soon as you come back acting aggressive, guess what the old lion does? You're gonna get some hands put on you because you want a challenge. The thing of the matter is we have a serious lack of decorum. If I don't have to talk aggressive to a sister, hey, I ain't got to do all that. I'm not a little guy. My voice is deep. I got testosterone. Little babe, why don't we just do this?
But why do men love the women who come at them that way? I ain't gonna lie. I know most men, they worship women that treat them like, baby, talk to them real rough. Baby, you want this, baby, you want that. But you know, call them out their name, talk about them, they mama and they baby mama, talk about their kids, put them out, repeat every other weekend, putting them out, won't cook, won't clean, won't give them no intimacy. They won't leave them, leave them.
That's because they need them.
We call them Sergeant Wilkies in Connecticut. We say he was the Sarge.
Let me tell you this.
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna answer your question. It's because they nuts ain't dropped yet.
How long do we have to wait for y'all nuts to drop? Because I know some.
I don't know. I'm about to give you another statement. Well, a lot of these sisters are not dating men. A lot of these women are dating boys. They're not dating men. Y'all, I mean, some of y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I've been like, why is she with that dude? Because we looking like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? And he's walking around lying to himself, and you lying for him. You know this dude weaker than doggone wet sandpaper in a thunderstorm. Come on now. You know this dude ain't strong worth a damn. You know he has zero fortitude, zero knowledge, zero leadership, zero strength, won't protect shit, but you love using him. You know why? You know why you love him? Because deep down, you got something to punch on. You go home and you get to use your Everlast punching bag when you go home because he's gonna take it because he ain't got no other choice. He's a slave. A
Is
lot of
that why?
sisters don't want men,
Men like weak women?
huh?
Is that why the men go for weak women or
They
disrespectful women?
and it's the same
Emasculating
reason.
women?
They nuts ain't dropped yet. They don't want a woman that has her own mind, and that's a damn shame to me. It's not,
Mm.
but we got to understand the difference between strength, a strong woman, and weak woman. See, I think a
Mhm.
woman that's talking aggressive all the time is a weak woman. You
Yeah,
know why?
mhm.
Because the
Ask
woman that
anybody.
had me, Gloria, my mother, is the softest, most feminine woman I ever made in my life, and she controls the whole damn family. And she's
That's what I
slightly
mean about
disappointed.
that
All the
feminine
men
energy,
stop.
y'all. That's exactly what I mean about that feminine energy. She doesn't have
All the
to.
men stop. She ain't got to yell. She ain't got to get aggressive. If my
Hmm.
mother says,
Well,
"Son,
you
can you come
know,
cut the grass this weekend?" Mom, kind of busy. That's okay. I bet y'all be there Saturday.
Right. That one that's okay did it for you. You know, I let me get up.
Yeah,
But if you don't
yeah.
get your ass over here and do this for me right now, what are you gonna do?
Mom, I
Withdraw?
told you I told you I got a job, so I'll see you Sunday
Yeah.
or maybe Monday. Mama, don't talk to me like that. Don't do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At
I
the
do.
end, stop. We need to stop getting out of this whole thing. And I tell sisters because what I do is we specialize in domestic violence rescues, and I tell them a lot of times. I say, listen, I'm not trying to condone nothing because y'all know I go outside to do hitting a heartbeat if you're hitting a woman, and I don't hit women. But in the
Mhm.
same context, stop jumping up in these dudes' face. You can't whoop these dudes.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, some of y'all can.
I don't
I'm
know,
just
man.
saying.
You taught me a few things, but
My bad.
You run up now. I can't fight with that much, but if you give me that much space, I'm gonna
I
put
had
you
to
in
look
the
at I
looking
had to look
for.
at who was on the screen. I'm like, well,
I'm saying,
not everybody.
out of all these three, I don't know about the rest of them, but these three right here, you gonna know
Mhm.
we've been there. I might not win, but you gonna know I've been there.
But what I'm
Right,
saying is, don't provoke a man like you want to fight instantly because you
Oh
mad.
no, no.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And after a
Mhm.
while, he gonna take it and
but
take
you
it and
know what?
take it and take it, and he gonna blow up because
Mhm.
he gonna take it and he done taking it.
I
Same
wanted,
Yeah,
with
I,
my
that's
sisters.
a real good point because it
I
makes
wanted
me
to,
think.
I wanted to,
We are, we, huh? My signal cut out. I'm sorry.
I
I don't
wanted to
know.
add something to you. Yeah, I wanted to add something to the conversation. A lot of
Go
people
ahead.
they can't live without drama. Drama is like it's like water and air to them. I'm saying if you remove that drama, they probably gonna die right on the spot. So a lot
Mhm.
of issues that we have with the aggression and abuse in a lot of relationships because people don't know how to deal. They don't know how to deal with the situation outside of that aggression or that drama, just based off of whatever they have groomed or grew up in. You know what I'm saying? So when you get two aggressive people, male and female, it's almost like that ego thing. Man wants to feel like he's a man and he's going to show his manliness, but the woman is not respecting the man and she wants to
Mm.
show her manliness. You know what I'm saying? So it seems to be an attraction to a lot of men to have those aggressive women. You know what I'm saying? Because I see more than not that a lot of our men deal in those types of relationships.
Mm.
Yeah, this is what I want to ask too, from the panel. Now we know everybody cheats, and
Hold on one.
everybody handles it differently. There are just as many women as there.
Hold on, I'm on the show. Oh, shoot.
Oh, there are just as many men and
Yeah.
women that go off the deep end when cheating is involved. When there is, and why is it for the vast majority when a woman cheats on a man, he ready to kill everybody, the dog, the cat, everybody got to go. Why is it y'all can't take it like we do, chin up, chest out, handle it? Why you got to go kill everybody? Why everybody got to die? What is that
Because
about? And then there's the bashing. She ain't shit. She stepped on. She trash. You was just with her. Now why is she trash? What does that make you? The trash man? The garbage man?
It's because deep down, again, we refuse to look at self accountability. So you know what the real answer is why he's going off like that?
Right.
He realized he fucked up the church's money, and the church ain't letting him maintain his membership.
Mm.
He get kicked out the church. Sister
Okay.
pastor don't want him no more. All
Okay.
right. So now he's looking at all this he's lost because of his foolishness, and now he's looking at the potential because he know what she can have. He knows,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows he don't meet that bar. And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing he want to hear is that she got married to somebody else.
Okay, then why risk? Why do we risk it? You know you got somebody that a quality person. You rather risk it all and play those games and see how far you can push a person. That's men and women. We play games with one another. Let me see if I can do this and if they'll forgive me yet again. That 'cause to them, that proves to them how much you love them. That's how much shit they'll take from you.
I mean, that's I got better stuff to do. I'd rather watch paint dry. I ain't going through all that. That's too much. Just hearing that shit made me tired. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Damn,
and it's
that just
very
made me
dysfunctional.
tired.
It's very
Yeah.
dysfunctional, but people do it all the time. You know, they keep trying a person and trying a person just to see just how much they're gonna let them get away with until pressure busts a pipe and she or he says, "I'm out. I'm out." And
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like I say, when you whatever you commit to, you become attached to. So
Mm.
to avoid the attachment, there's no commitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you first start dating or seeing someone, there are these obligatory obligations, things that people expect. By far and large, plenty of women expect that once you start dating them, you're supposed to start paying all their bills.
Mm.
On what planet?
Where did that narrative? Where did that come from? How
That
did
came from love and hip hop. That came from the radio. That came from lazy women. I'm gonna call it what it is. You know what I
yeah?
hate? I understand my roles as a man, but when I hear I want a man that can provide, and I look at what you got. As soon as you said, I look at what you got. You don't have a
Mm.
car. You don't have furniture in your house. You're barely eating. Our first date was probably the biggest meal you had in a couple of months. Um, I know what you want. You want to sit your lazy ass at home while I'm working all day and you watching TV or whatever. And I ain't watch TV that much. So you trying to burn your brain cells, and while I'm out here working and doing everything else under the sun, just for you to say I'm a good man. You want me to work myself until I die? Because a lot of women want a man to do that because they want to be able to sit on their ass and do nothing. While this man works until the day he dies, and she goes and finds somebody else. That's why the average life expectancy for a black man these days is 65.
Mm.
Mm,
Stress, stress.
mm.
Well, you
I
know
lost
what?
my father. My
Uh,
father left here at 68, and I'm almost 50 right now. I'll be 50 in August, so that tells me I got 18 years of life left. If I don't check my stress, I might leave early. So, with that being said, I'm not going to be with somebody that's going to make me stress myself the hell out to where I die at 52.
Mm.
If you
Mhm.
give me too much of an argument, because I promise I don't want no trouble, I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do. But you give me half a hard time, I come home and you give me all this grief, you won't make it past a week.
Mhm.
So,
but you know what? People say all the time that we don't have tradition and things in our culture, and that's actually a tradition because generationally, women have passed down to other women, and they pass down to other women that the purpose of being a woman is making sure you get a good man so he take care of you. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's things that she
That's
has
what we're
to
talking.
do too, like take care of the house. If don't tell me
Exactly.
you're an independent woman if you want me to take care of you. Don't. If you're gonna be in the house when I'm in work, it's gonna sound so misogynistic. If I'm
come on
expected
with
to go to work, if I'm expected to go to work and come home tired every day, I expect a clean house. I expect a meal on the table. I expect bath water running. And if I go to bed at night and I'm a little, happy,
it.
I don't want to hear no.
Ever.
If if I am working If
Right.
I am working my heart out every single day, you have my ATM card, you got my debit card, you got the car keys, you could go buy and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I better not have a problem when I come home.
And you know what? That's you. That's a great thing. But by far and large, there are plenty of men that still ain't enough for them because they still gonna do some more shit.
Yep.
And a
Yep.
woman can
That's
have a
because
man
they
that
ain't
is her
got
whole,
nothing.
her soul, provide everything she need. Is she still gonna go do some more shit?
Well, then
You
she
know,
need to
some
get the
people are
hell
just
out.
never satisfied. Huh? What'd you
She need
say?
to get the hell on. Because look, I think us as a nation, we need to take ourselves seriously, right? I look at my sisters on this panel right now, and y'all all take stuff serious. That's why I call y'all sisters. You know what I mean? I call y'all sisters because I love y'all like sisters. You understand what I'm saying? The thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm being real sincere when I say that. The fact of the matter is this: as a nation, as nation builders, it's time for us to take our nation serious. For real, from the relationship perspective all the way to working. If your ass ain't doing right, get left. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
It ain't no more gray areas. Ain't no more exceptions. I'm trying to get new to the knowledge. Man, ain't nobody got no time for all that. You either with us or you not. All right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You either down or you either get down or if you're down, get all the way down and get from around me,
Yeah.
because we're trying to build something solid with brothers and sisters that love their queens. I was hanging out with a friend of mine this weekend. I did a work project for him, and his wife's an artist, and I had to compliment my brother. I said I watched how they talked. Right, I
Mm-hmm.
watched how attentive he was to his wife. This wasn't fake. This was natural.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him hold on to every word his wife said. When she asked him to do something, he made it a damn priority, and vice versa. I got done and I got packed my truck up and I looked around and say, bro, sis, you know what I love about y'all? She said, what? I said, I look at you two and I can say undoubtedly that you love each other with all your heart. The
Mm-hmm.
perfect comedic mathematic equation. Mother, father, because they got a daughter. And you can see the math. Mother love father. They had a child that loves them both. 1 + 2 = 3. We sitting up here with a constant battle of the damn sexes. That's why a lot of us are gonna be single for the rest of our lives. And I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody watching this right now, brothers, everybody ain't a husband.
Yeah.
Sisters, everybody ain't a wife. That's a special damn title. That's higher than a
Mm-hmm.
king or queen. That's a special
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
title. Because if a man got a wife, you breathe on her hard, he gonna get you. His friends gonna get you because if these friends, that's their sister. So
Mhm.
his friends gonna get you. Family, everybody, the world's gonna go. It's gonna be scorched earth. At the
Yeah.
same time, if somebody says something ignorant about that brother, that sister ain't gonna be playing no damn games. And that's another thing. I tell
Mm-hmm.
people, if you're in a relationship, nobody outside your relationship should be able to come to you and say something about your partner.
Right.
Exactly. And that's
And if
that's
they,
that's that's the totality of this today. Like we are allowing people who have a very minimal say to create a narrative about us as black people. We
Mhm.
have to
hmm
change that narrative. We have to hold each other accountable. And if you see one of your brothers talking down on a woman he was just with, check his ass.
I
Exactly.
will.
And sisters, I check my friends when they are wrong. Don't do that. You
Mhm.
know, don't do that. You wrong for that because you know what? He didn't do anything that you didn't allow him to do. People can't. And if he do it once, it's up to you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At some point, it's
But
no longer a surprise that he's
Right.
cheating or that she's cheating or that they didn't represent, they're not who they represented themselves to be. Plenty of times women come off to be, all that you would ever want. And as soon as you find out she not, you still stay. Men and women.
Mhm.
but you
He
know
was
what
dating
though?
her ass. He was dating a big ass and a pair of titties. She ain't got,
Yeah, because they care what it
she
looks
doesn't
like.
have a nurturing heart. Her brain is as small as a belt buckle. You know, she could care less about anything that concerns him. If he's got other children, I don't want a man who don't take care of his own kids. He ain't gonna do right by mine or me. I don't want a
Right.
man that don't treat his mother right. He ain't gonna treat me no better than he treat his mama.
Amen.
And you fall into that, and then you feel like, well, I gotta stay because I said I want. No, no. If it's not what you want, you have a right to walk away from that free and clear without judgment, right? Bashing, dragging each other, talking. I'm so tired of other races being able to talk about how we deal with our relationships. Cause we don't talk about theirs like that. We don't know shit about what's going on until it wind up in the news. Cause that white man cut his wife's head off and was riding around with it in the trunk.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only
That's
time we hear about it. But
That's
we
because
get
we want to have a pity party and we want
yeah,
everybody to feel sorry for our lack of self accountability.
we get dead on
That's
social
why.
media and talk about it.
Right.
You know,
So,
I hate
and
that meme that says somebody with my ex thinking they got something. I hate that meme. I hate that meme.
I tell brothers and sisters I got white friends, troglodyte friends, pet cavemen, cave women, if you will. I always say, when you sitting around your pets and you talking trash about black men or black women, you know what's funny? The biggest enemy to the black woman ever is a white woman.
Mm.
The biggest enemy to the black man ever is the white man. What the fuck make you think you gonna get some good guidance from them now? And
Right.
the interesting part is when those sisters get to talking to those white women, and those white women go, "Oh my gosh, gee willikers, I can't believe this," and they turn around and they fuck around and they see your ex, and then they try to slide in on them.
Yeah.
And vice
So
versa for the men.
how do we change this narrative moving forward? How do we change this?
Well,
You
you
can
know
say
what
it
though?
it's simple. You can say I do shit. It's my fault sometimes. It's okay to be my fault. I'm
Mhm.
human. I can say I'm
And you know
sorry.
so
Mhm.
you know what else?
What's that?
We as brothers and sisters have to respect other people's shit, whether we agree with it or not.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of respect because, and I'm gonna give you an example. Last we had this training, and so we bring this the trainer in. You know what I'm saying? So we all get an Airbnb. So everybody at the Airbnb. So now we know this trainer's married, and she's not really involved in what we got going on.
Mhm.
You know, he FaceTiming his wife and everything, talking to her, blah blah whatever, and then everybody's drinking, everybody's chilling, cooking dinner, and all the women are just on him, rubbing his head, massaging his shoulders, you know. And I'm like, yo, because
Did you say
first
he
of
was
all,
married?
yes, and I'm gonna tell you right, one thing about me, anybody that know me will tell you this fact. Any brother that I know married, whether his wife is there or not, when I talk to him, I acknowledge her. I always, how's your queen? Because I want you to know that I acknowledge the fact that you are in a marriage. And then our conversation starts. Because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm trying to holler at you, right?
Mhm.
Right.
But the fact that everybody knew he was married, including the other people that brought him in for training, and it's well, everybody's an adult. He knew he was married. Correct. He knew he was married, right?
Mhm.
But that does not obligate anybody else to take up to that woman's husband. You don't touch her husband. You don't, flirt with him. You don't in no position, because you know what, these women trust us with their husbands. When we need y'all for a certain maneuver or commitment, they trust us with your husband. So I need you to feel like you can sleep at night knowing your husband's around me. And a lot of them aren't that way. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
they feel like, okay, well, if he laid up between my legs or if he rubbing, then oh well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It does. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Wait,
handle
Right.
let
Did
me
the
get the
other
touch
women?
finger.
Did any of the other women apologize? Like I can't coast past that part. So they just
Yeah.
all start rubbing on them. Was this the
No.
first time? Like it just seemed like they was
No.
comfortable with it the way the story's told.
I will
I'm
tell
just
you
scratching my
this.
head in, but
I will tell you this. Everybody thought I was wrong. Everybody was wrong. I went through a whole backlash behind that because they felt like I was wrong. I was starting stuff. I was creating an issue when what y'all gonna do is my presence is respect that woman's husband. Now, however y'all want to handle it, that's how we gonna handle it. But y'all gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the sister,
where was she?
the wife,
Yes.
which the wife was at home. We actually flew this brother in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We flew him in.
Why did he not shut it down?
I can't speak for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that was the whole point. Everybody was saying he knew he was married. Yes, he knew he was married, but y'all knew he was married too. And if, like Brother Moon said, if everybody holds their portion of accountability, because the thing about it is, if my sister's husband, regardless of what he do, I have no business trying to. You see what I'm saying? If you approach me the wrong way, my responsibility is I should be walking away from you or not entertaining it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if we as women, if we feel like we get the green light and we take the green, just as wrong. You see what I'm saying?
That's a classic thing of, if you don't scream, I won't holler. That's what that whole situation sounds like.
That's the
Well, the thing of the matter, in regards as it applies, especially to married people, I mean, again, decorum, it's ways you carry yourself, self accountability. I've been around beautiful women, and they was married. I ain't thinking about that. I ain't thinking about that. I'm thinking about the fact you married. We don't value marriage no more. First of all, we don't value that shit.
But
we don't value relationships no
he
more.
didn't even respect his own marriage, because that's on him to shut that down. And you can't expect other people to respect what you don't respect.
This is true, but I'm saying for a personal side of it is, yes, we do have to respect that person's marriage even when they don't. Because at the end of the day, you want to be known as a hoe?
I think they was all right with it in that scenario.
That's what I'm saying. I think
why you
he was all
bullshit? You right.
You know what?
Getting all that loving and nurturing.
And let me tell you something. Of course, he would be all right with it, because a lot of our brothers are polygamy days anyway. You see what I'm saying? And if you want to be a polygamist, don't say no, miss, and I get to just sleep with 40, 50 a year because I'm a polygamist. You see what I'm saying? First of all, if you tell me you're a polygamist, explain to me what it is. Give me the definitions.
First of all, that's just marriage. And even then, you can't do that in this country. So that polygamy stuff to me is dead anyway. Because you have to have a marriage to consider practicing polygamy. Not the woke version. The actual title of polygamy, the A-M-Y at the end, results in marriage. So you have to be married. In this country, you can't do that. It's called bigamy. It's actually a federal crime. So
I am going to be the unpopular opinion again. Just forgive me in advance. I think modern day polygamy is an excuse for a threesome. I think
I was about to say that, sis. Thank you.
I think old time polygamy, that's probably how they live. I know older women, the Barbara Shirley situations, they knew about each other. And when the old man died, they both was at the funeral. Like, they understood their roles. But this is a little different. They all taking pictures together, and I'm not getting this. I personally am not into polygamy, so this doesn't apply to me, but I just can't see it.
I don't know what to judge it either way, but I'm saying it from everybody's doing this because they woke now. All right, let's just keep it funky. So at the end of it, when this trend goes away, we ain't practicing polygamy. I don't know one man that want to be married to multiple women for 60, 70, 80, 90 years, because that's what marriage is. It's for life. I don't want to come home.
Well, you know what, brother?
For 80, 90 years. Fuck that.
You know what, brother? You know what? Since I've been woke, I went on and I got my minister license, so I can be all 4 or 5 times. So I'm just with the rest of these.
You ain't gotta worry about me being there. I'm only getting married once.
That's it, baby. That's it.
That's what I'm taking. You call me European eyes. I'm gonna get married one time.
Yes. And it's
got my online minister certificate. I have my online minister certificate. So if you want to marry about 3 women. I got you.
Nope. You heard me say it.
It
Nope.
cost me $19.
So I'm curious,
I'll give
in
you
that
$20 and
scenario, who gets the pension?
nope. I'm
You
getting
said
married
what?
to one woman.
When there's a polygamy situation, she said, and he dies, who gets the pension?
The best one.
Depending on what state you live in. Did you say the best one?
They have a fight and
The one
whoever
that can
wins
fight
gets
the
it. I
best,
don't
huh?
know.
The one that
That's
can
what I
fight
mean
the best, because
about
it's gonna be a scuffle.
Yeah, that's what I mean about old generation, new generation. My grandmother, right? My grandmother was off the hook. Bless her. My grandfather was off the hook though. He used to hang out drinking at the little juke joints, whatever. So she got tired of fighting with him. And every time he really, really crossed the line, she would increase his life insurance. So she wouldn't say nothing.
Damn it, boy.
She wouldn't say nothing to him. But if he cheated, it went up 20,000.
What?
If he stayed out, like, yeah, girl, it went up 5. And then anything else he did. So by the time he died, and I said, how you know he gonna go first, right? He
Because
said,
the
don't
life
worry
he
about
living.
it. Yeah, but he ironically he went first, and
The
she
life
was
he was living.
the life he was living, and she got paid off it. And she invited all those women to the funeral to watch her.
Ooh, what you say?
Listen, these new
Damn
school
it,
women,
boy.
they got nothing on our grandma.
See what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? They see they worried about bashing him on social media and letting everybody know he ain't shit, and vice versa. You know, and our elders had the sense of, you know what, whether he here or not, I'm gonna take care of my household. They
Yeah.
believed in getting insurance and maintaining it, and had several
They
policies.
definitely believe in that.
And
Yep.
he had a whole nother household on another street. That's her problem. Because when he passed, she might give some of his other children a little something. You see what I'm saying? Because even though they knew he had several households, they still, you know, would look out for one another. I know he doing this over here, but we gonna do this right here because he ain't no good to neither one of us, right? We don't
Yeah.
have that anymore.
That's
We
more
have
like
women.
polygamy than what I see now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not. And I don't understand how how it even got kicked up so heavy again. Is it just in the conscious
That's
community?
because people was inhaling chakras and sage, and we've been inhaling so many damn chakras and sages that we forgot to be fucking human and knowing how to live a regular goddamn life. We want to go to the astral plane so bad we forgot about waking up in the damn morning and looking around. Everything's in vibrations. And them vibrations is whooping your ass because you homeless right now. So at the end of the day,
Start having girls kissing girls in
you,
video,
if
jumping on cars,
if
twerking.
everything's vibrating around your ass, you ain't vibrating too much because you homeless, motherfucker. You are trying to live up under somebody else's roof, sir. So you're trying to live under somebody else's frequency. Well, motherfucker, do something because you ain't vibrating right. Your shit is off. But you giving all these damn classes on vibrations, frequency, vibes, and I was a woman say she practiced sex magic. I said, stop it. You just being a hoe. Stop it. Cut it out.
That term.
Might be real.
Okay, so that
Look,
term.
if that woman was a mambo or a shaman, I would get it. If you just got in the consciousness and all of a sudden you practicing sex magic, you are a hood.
She could be reborn again. We don't know.
If you just got in the consciousness yesterday and walked out of Greater Ebenezer Baptist Church, and all of a sudden you practice witchcraft and sex magic, you reading futures and practicing sex magic, you lying. And if you are doing all that, why are you poor?
Are we talking about men and women or just women?
Yeah, I'm talking both of them.
Okay, because the woman can't.
You a great priest. You a great priest all of a sudden that practices all this magic. And you a priestess that practices all this magic. Why the fuck are you poor? If I practice all this stuff and I'm giving prosperity spells, why the fuck am I not giving myself a prosperity spell?
I'm starting with me.
Exactly.
I'm putting cinnamon on $1 and stick it in your wallet.
I don't want no kind of prosperity spell from somebody that is living in the damn projects.
Indeed.
You are backwards hustling.
Yeah.
You, matter of fact, you backwards hustling on a metaphysical level. That's just terrible.
Yeah, this does
The
not make
gods ain't even
sense.
happy with you right now.
So we know the narrative, and we know what we see in, from those in the people in our generation. I don't know everyone's ages, but it seems that the older we get, the worse it seems to get.
Yes.
And is that because so many men and women are wounded, bitter, resentful, and unhealed, and we just keep transferring that on to the next person and to the next generation? In spite of what we tell our children, we have men out here, or women, a woman telling her daughter, keep your dress down, she coming in with her slip in her hand.
Or not at all. They
Right.
don't wear slips no more.
Right. What
I'm
is
about
a
to say, y'all
slip?
still wear slips?
Sadly, my generation and the ones underneath us barely wear underwear. Look how many fights you see on YouTube. It all goes bad when they hit the ground. So
Yeah.
There's some sisters right now listen. There's some sisters listening to this right now saying, "What's a slip?"
Yeah. What is it? They don't know. They barely know what pantyhose. And I say pantyhose or stockings, they look at you like, what?
Damn it,
Do
boy.
what?
stuff
Yeah.
like that make me appreciate the generations ahead of me that taught me better. It really
Yeah.
do. It really,
Yes.
really
It does. It
it makes
does.
But you know what? Though? It's really our generation where the break came, because we were being a village child to what going on in this house, stay in this house. You
Exactly.
see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Growing up in the 80s, it became so much important that it was a 2-parent working household. We were latchkey kids. We MTV came out, because we was rocking your MTV rap. That was our after school babysitter.
Mhm.
We cooked our own dinner in the microwave. So that break came in that generation. So if you really pay attention, we were the last generations to wear slips and pantyhose, and we transitioned right out of them. Because I can tell you, when I was in high school, going to church every Sunday, I had on a slip and pantyhose. By the time I got in my early 20s, I just like you hang a jersey on the wall, I did that slip and them pantyhose. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. I didn't teach my daughters to put on a slip and pantyhose, because by the time I started having children, it just wasn't a thing. It wasn't important. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things that we were taught and things were passed down to us, we kind of like buried them in this generation, and then we created a whole new set of rules next generation, and that's where we at now. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the break in a lot of families came. Like I said, it was started out in life. Village raised a child. My grandma had something to say. My aunt had something to say. The neighbor had something. The teacher had something to say. Because when I went, they still was paddling and stuff at school. You see what I'm saying? If I got paddled at school, they didn't have to call my parents to get permission. You see? So I'm still in that generation where everybody look for each other. But now you can't tell nobody child nothing. If you see somebody child walking across the street, you're gonna get hit by a car, and you go snatch them up to say, you can run fight their mama.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Don't touch my child. And that's where we're at now. So we got to kind of reintroduce. I'm sorry, was that?
I have a question I want to ask Brother Moon.
Oh.
Just a minute ago, you made the statement about that person being a whore, but based on their behavior. Who determines what a hoe is?
Your behavior. I mean, come on now. If you having sex with everybody and their mama or daddy at the same damn time, and the only thing that's wrapped around you is sex, that reeks of sexual addiction.
And that makes you a whore?
Yes.
Okay.
Sex addict. That's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm a very literal person, y'all.
Oh no, I'm
just letting y'all know I'm a very literal person. That's what a sex addict is.
Yeah.
Ain't like it, and people be like, oh, he said whore. Yeah, I did.
Oh no.
But because at the end of the day, it's a sex addict.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But
Okay.
that
So
seems to
let's
be the
talk.
new norm these days.
Yeah, but let's
Yeah,
talk. Let's talk
promiscuity.
energy since we want to talk energy in the conscious community and all this stuff, right? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
When you put yourself into somebody or you sit on somebody's phallus, you are inheriting their energy. And you jumping from person to person to person to person when you want to know why I said it's horror. You know why I sound so harsh? Because at the end of the day, when you put your energy that you got from somebody else on somebody else's energy, on somebody else's energy, on somebody else's energy, on somebody else's energy, and your ass wasn't healed in the first place, and neither were they, then that shit is bad.
So when there's a man and a woman
Mm-hmm.
seeing each other,
Seeing each
and
other.
said man or woman is seeing
Mm-hmm.
multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
A woman can't do what a man do and still be called a lady. Men are celebrated for how many marks they get on their belt. A woman is instantly a whore.
I can't agree with that because at my age, you know what we call that? If I'm worried about how many men, how many women you sleep with, you know what we call it?
But
Dick watching. We ain't do that. That's gay. I don't care how many
no.
men you. I don't care how many women you my homeboy sleep with. Matter of fact, at my age, I'm wondering when you gonna get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Cause why you got 8 baby mamas, dog? What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a conversation my people have.
Yeah.
Why you got 8
But you
baby
know
mamas,
what?
dog? Are you taking care of them kids? What's up
Yeah.
with you, dog? You need to chill out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't
But
got nothing to show.
are you calling him a whore or just her?
Yes, yes. And I actually we call him a fuck nigga.
And what's the
You
new
know why
term, boy? The new
we call
term
them
is
fuck
fuckboy,
boys?
right?
Yes, we call them fuck boys. You know why we say that? Because at the
Yeah.
end of it, you do the same reason. If I'm your real friend, if I'm gonna be your boy, I'm gonna be your boy. You might not like everything I say. I ain't gonna tell you everything you like. Cassandra Malign, is she still on there? Cass will
Who?
tell you.
Oh,
You ain't
cash
gonna
logged
like
out.
everything. If I care about you, you ain't gonna like everything I say.
Indeed.
Nope. You ain't gonna like
Mhm.
it at all. Because at the end of it, if you're doing some stupid shit, I'm gonna say, dog, you been a fuck nigga right now.
Mhm.
What you mean? Dog, you running through all these damn women, this, and then I'll say, this is why sisters feel like they feel about brothers right now, because of niggas like you.
Mhm.
So friends will hold you accountable. All
Mhm.
right, and that's the one thing we'll do in this community because we scared of we scared of the backlash. I gave up fear a long time ago, sis. I gave up
Mhm.
fear a long time ago. It's boring. All right. I don't want to be. I don't care about fear no more. The fact is, if something needs to be said, Dr. Marimba Ani says, warriors confront what need to be confronted and let the chips fall where they may.
Mhm.
If I love you and I care about you, if I care about my people, I love my nation, I love my friends and all this other stuff, and I can't tell you you fucking up, what kind of warrior am I?
Mhm.
So yes, to me it's a bad thing. I don't celebrate my homeboys that's running around, running through women left and right.
Yeah, I
None.
mean, just like a
I don't
man don't.
care. I don't watch them like that. I'm not dick watching. I'm not watching what they doing. I don't. Hey man, I slept with this. What you telling me for? I don't care.
Yeah. Well, just like men don't want a woman that's ran through.
No.
Women don't want a man that's been run through either. And some
Right.
of these men are run through.
So that's why they need to choose responsibly. Choose wisely and responsibly. Every man is not a husband and every woman ain't a wife, which means if
Hmm.
you ain't worthy, you ain't worthy. You can't keep your PP in your pants, you have no discipline. You can't keep your scissors closed, you ain't got no damn discipline. I don't want a
Hmm.
woman that don't have no discipline. What if I gotta go on a maneuver and I gotta leave her if I'm married and I gotta leave my wife at home and she ain't got no damn discipline? I come back, she's screwing half my team. Come
Hmm.
on now. It's time for us to grow up.
That's it
Okay?
right there.
It's
That's
time for
my
us to be
thing.
big
What's the
boys
point
and
of
big
getting older
girls
if you're not gonna grow up?
because it's nothing worse than an old hoe.
This is true on both sides of the fence. Because
Yes.
nobody wants an old fuck boy. You
It,
know?
when I say old hoe, that one just for women.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than an old hoe.
Mm-hmm.
You 50 years old, you a dude 50 years old. And I told myself I'm trying to get married to somebody that's how I'm gonna find a sister I halfway get along with and just get married by the time I turn 50, because I'm not trying to be the old man in the club.
How do you get there? How do you get to the life you want if you still live in the life you say you don't want?
Right. You change. You gotta change some shit. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get focused. You got to build. You want to, if I said I want to get married by the time I'm 50, right? So what I do, I focus a lot of my time on my business. I try to get my money right, my retirement, and everything together. So at the end of the day, I have something tangible to offer my wife. I say I practice Africanism, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I need to get my dowry together. I ain't got time to be doing all this other crazy shit with all these other women. I'm trying to get my dowry together.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
And I ain't
it just seems like women are giving up on men because the women are just with the women these days. You know what I'm saying? I work at
Oh.
a club on the weekends, and I see women just coming in together in groups, and they like humping on each other, twerking on each other, kissing on each other.
yep.
And all you see is the men just standing back watching them. You know what I'm saying? Like they are absolutely not even interested in these men anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
the whole reverse psychology, and this one sister, right? Because I was asking her about it, I'm like, yo, like y'all really like into each other like that? And so she was saying, and this was a stud, and I'm gonna say stud. I know I'm about to get blackballed with Kanye and Kyrie for using certain terminology, but will. But
Man,
anyway,
we black
so
nationalists. We don't care
Yeah,
about
man,
all that.
we
You say your
blackball
truth,
you
girl.
telling the truth. This
Spit
is
your
truth to
fire.
power. This is truth to power, and that's what it's
y'all better
gonna be
learn my
today and
humor
every
around here. Yeah. So anyway, but I'm gonna tell you, this is what you're getting right. Like, look, studs give them the masculine. This is their logic, right? The studs give them masculine energy that they need. The only thing they need him is his seed. Once he plant that seed, he's no longer needed because he's that child. You see what I'm saying? That is where
That's the dumbest
they're
shit I
growing.
ever
God
heard.
said it's growing. It's growing like the coronavirus.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. I can't believe she
Hey, but
said some shit like
that's what
that.
they think.
Listen,
That's what they think. That's what they
and
think.
these are the
That's
same
how they
ones that
moving.
scared of bugs, right? These are the same women that they scared of bugs. I know they scared of bugs, can't fix nothing, shit up falling around, falling apart everywhere. And watch me, what I bet your sister say, I can fix a car. Go ahead and fix that motherfucking in. Right? I can cut
I
the
know,
grass
but
by
that you know
myself,
what I'm
then after a
saying.
while.
That that's convincing themselves of. You see what I'm saying? So they're
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of slowly trying to eliminate the man out the equation.
I mean they
And
can,
so,
we can see how far that's gonna go though.
Yeah, because it's pretend. It's a pretend life. It's
Yeah.
not real. It's not real because the bottom line is you're a woman and you're never gonna be a man. Period. I don't care what outfit you can go put on a whole three-piece man suit, the shoes, the boxers, everything. You still gonna bleed every 28 days. You still a woman.
And they cheat too.
Yeah, oh baby. They let me tell you something. Those relationships are some of the most volatile relationships I've ever seen.
I've done a lot of domestic violence rescues that was lesbian relationships,
Mm-hmm. And they fight like hell.
which confused me because I always said she said I'm scared, and I was like, why don't you just whoop her ass? Y'all both women. What's going
I
see,
on?
that was my whole point that I'm telling you is they don't believe that. They don't believe that they're both women. When you're dealing with her and she thinks she a man and she moves like a man, she huffing and puffing like a man, you start to believe that she's a man when you're in
Then
that
you have a
situation.
mental condition. That reeks of a mental
Hey,
condition.
I ain't knocking that.
You're
I ain't
tripping.
knocking that. I ain't down that.
Yeah, that's a mental disorder right there. Because at the
But
end of it,
you know
you
what? We
saying
we got it. Okay, so let me ask you something, right? Why do you think that so many studs are allowed in the Black Power movement now? Because we got a few.
because we ain't standing on our square. We ain't standing on a square. I mean, what do we really believe in the Black Power movement now? Let's be real with it. Let's keep it funky. What do we really believe in? Do we really believe in we want liberation? Do we really believe in that? Because a lot of us can't follow orders or have discipline.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us don't respect higher rank structures. Do we really want liberation? We can't keep confidential information within the ranks without going to talk to a motherfucker that ain't got nothing to do with the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that?
Narrative got created as well. We letting outsiders create a narrative for us, and we just falling into place with it. We
Yeah,
have
and we
got
do it. We doing it to ourselves.
That. Yes.
We're being Achilles heel to ourselves. So do we really want liberation? Why so many? So we got a whole lot of weird stuff coming in the moon. We got pimps, drug dealers, abusers. I done seen them.
Are these people that have changed though? Because they want a better life. They want a better outlook. They want to have better relationships.
If I said I seen them, that ain't past life. That's current. I've seen it. Okay. And I went, you got one more time, and I'm gonna break your ass in half. Mm-hmm. Okay. You got brothers and sisters trying to destroy each other's names in the movement left and right. Mm-hmm. We gotta. So when you talk about studs in the movement and stuff like that, man, I don't know what is that for. I don't have any unit. I'm not a big fan of homosexuality at all, and I think that my teacher is Bobby Baruti. I already know where he at. I'm straight black pride all day. I don't play the game. But for the sake of anything for the sake of numbers, because it looks good. You give me 10 soldiers that's respectable, honorable, about some shit, you can have them.
Mm-hmm. So in closing, I'd like for y'all to give y'all's closing statement.
I win the war.
I want to say this before we end. It doesn't matter to me a person's lifestyle. You know, to most of us, it does. To the majority of us, it does not matter. As long as when you come with respect, and that's the thing that we want to get to is remembering to respect one another and calling out each other when we see the disrespect, right? And like I said, when you're doing someone bad or mistreating them, you know how that feels, and you know you're not right? So moving forward, it would be nice to see everyone taking the stance of, you know what, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna treat my sister and my brother better. I'm gonna be the person that I would have my children and my family to believe that I am. How do you all think that we get to that? I'm going to ask you first, Sister Chuma. How do we get to back to respect? Huh?
Well, actually, we got to respect ourselves, and we got to be honest with ourselves, because you can't really else out when you're living foul. The one thing I don't try to make everything about me, but I always try to remain an example. If I see in public, it will go on my billboard person. I'm saying, because myself. And so you do that, and you gotta keep walking the way that you fight what people can say about you, because all you can do is show your version of what you feel like you present or what you want represented. So I think if people start really themselves on that level and start respecting comrades and their sisters and brothers and family, then I think that we can kind of rebuild that trust amongst each other. And when we get that trust, then that respect is automatically going to fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think, Brother Moon?
And stop talking about it and be about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my sis said it perfectly. I mean, that's all I can really say. We're so caught up in a cusp of symbolism and realism. You know, it looks good, but it's just as rotten as it fucking wants to be. It needs to. If we're gonna do it, let's do it, man. Open the door for a sister, brothers. It's okay. Even else, and sisters, say thank you.
Indeed.
Brothers, speak to each other. Hey, man, how you doing? It's okay if the dude looking fly, bro. It's okay to say, hey, man, that's a nice suit. It starts there. And this in question that you ask a brother or a sister, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna add the one of the most important questions you can ask is, how you doing? Because if you just speak to a brother or sister, you never know. Every day, a lot of people think the black man's biggest adversary is diabetes. It's suicide.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, you just speaking to a brother might have saved his life that day.
Yeah, I think we should love on each other more. And when I say love on, that ain't meaning in love with each other. You know, just loving on each other more. You know, so many black men are not even accustomed to or used to a woman complimenting them without assuming that she wants sex. Or, you know, if I just say, you smell good, you looking good, where you going today? You know, looking out good, you know, just a compliment, you know, like you said, you never know what they can do for a person. You know,
Right.
instead of looking at someone, you know, giving them the once over, judging them, you know, doing anything but being pleasant, complimentary, you know, lifting each other up, you know.
Thanks.
And when you decide that, you know, you get into a relationship with someone and you're done, just be done. All the extra commentary, the
Right.
bitterness, the resentment, be mad at yourself because nobody made you do nothing. You chose to do it, it didn't work out, move on.
You
Go
can
on
be
with
exes and be friends. I got a lot of them.
indeed. Indeed. And that's what we should do in the first place anyway. If you build a strong friendship, then when it doesn't work out, you can go your separate ways and still be friends. Still be at least be polite and cordial. You
Right.
know? There's no need. It only gets ugly when there's a lot of disrespect on both ends. That's when it
Right.
gets ugly. You know, you mad because he made you promises he didn't keep, he or she. You know, promises are made to be broken.
Right.
Don't start nothing you can't finish. Don't promise nothing you can't deliver. Be that
Right.
which you seek. You know, like I say, whatever it is that you require, be that. You can't
Right.
require more than what you have or able to give or be. You know,
And be okay with making mistakes.
indeed,
Be okay with saying I'm sorry. Be okay with
yeah,
making mistakes. You ain't perfect, man.
indeed.
If somebody says they never did anything in a relationship, you a bold face ass lie.
Mm-hmm.
You might have done something not knowing you done something.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
ain't do
thought it was
nothing for that
really
man to cheat on me. All right, woman say I ain't done nothing for that man to cheat on me. I'm like, and then you get his side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you was a freak of the week when y'all started being together and stuff like that. But after a while, y'all ain't had sex for like 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And when he talked about it, y'all, you raised the issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What he supposed to do then?
Well,
Because what you get,
you
what
would
you
think
do to
they
get
have a
them, you got to do to keep them.
okay, okay, okay. Indeed. Well, I really
Yeah.
appreciate y'all joining the conversation tonight.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
we got some great insight. Nothing that we haven't ever heard before. Of course, you know it's an age-old conversation, and it won't end here. You know, we may have to do a series. You know, you could do a series. You really could do a series on relationships and black love. You know, and we
Mm,
are people that we really love the hardest. You know, but we also have a guard up that makes us distrust one another, and we got to
right.
get that back. You know,
Right.
we have to get that trust back and that respect back. You know, everyone does not have an ulterior motive. Everyone's not out to hurt you, use you, mistreat you. Men and sisters and brothers, right? And when you see it for what it is, when you say, God, give me a sign, He hit you in the head with it, you just keep on going.
Right.
Yeah, and then you get mad because it just gets worse. We have to be, adult enough to say, you know what, I'd rather cut my losses right here than get a year down the line, and then you become resentful, bitter, very wounded, and you take that on to the next relationship. If you even allow yourself to have another. Some people have cut themselves off completely, just say, forget it. I'm just gonna die by myself. And I don't believe that for anybody. I know there's somebody for everybody. There's somebody out there that wants what you want the way you want it. And the way you and he or she, the both of you decide to love, that's on y'all. It doesn't have to be the way the world is has to by anyone else's standards but our own.
Right.
And learning how to keep our business, even after we're done with each other on a personal level. If it was private, then it should remain,
Right.
Because if I see a man dragging another woman, I don't want him. I want nothing to do with him because he's going to do me the same way he did her,
Right.
and vice versa, So I really appreciate y'all this evening. This was exciting for me because all week I've had people, reaching out and, I want to come on because I got to say this and I want to say that. But of course, it's nothing that we haven't ever heard before, and a lot of times, it's coming from a place of anger, and sick and tired of being sick and tired, And a friend of mine, I always say, men don't play fair,
Nope.
And then on the other hand, I got men that say, women don't play fair. We all need to play fair. Fair exchange ain't no robbery.
Right.
And if we remember to do that, then we could be a great nation. Because if we can get along, then we can branch out and start fixing other things. There's too many personal issues that amongst us that hold us up from progress. These old wounds that haven't healed. And we don't want to hang that over our own heads for the rest of our lives. We got to move past that, grow up.
Right.
I appreciate you for coming on this evening. You take care of yourself, Brother Moon.
I will.
Get
You too.
rest, sir.
I'm trying, man.
I try.
I gotta chase my coin. I'm getting my diary together.
Yeah, but you know what? Somebody else gonna be spending it if you don't slow down.
My granddaughter.
Well, don't you but you getting your diary together for that wife, right?
Yeah, but if I leave just in case, granddaughter.
I hear you. I don't have any grandchildren yet. My daughter is still of a teenage, and she says she don't want no kids, and I don't even ask her why.
She my new. She can't have no boyfriend, so we ain't talking about that.
Right, right, indeed.
She don't even know. She don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. I don't even say nothing. I ask no questions.
She can't have no boyfriend. That's why. Yeah, she can't have no boyfriend. She got a crazy uncle that lives in Houston.
I say when you turn 21, you can have one. When you legal age to carry a pistol, then you can have one. He said, Yeah, well, we're gonna make sure that those that coming up behind us, that we lead them the right way, not the fake way, right?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
by true example. And that's what I plan on doing. That's what I try to do, and teaching her, keeping it real with her, because I don't want my kids to be green as grass, because if I'm gone from here, nobody else, I don't want anybody else coddling her and making her believe that it's okay to live the wrong way, or it's okay to accept, mistreatment and things of that sort,
Well, I tell my sons, a lot of people know about my past. Some people nobody in the movement really knows my past, but a lot of people do that's not in the movement. And I tell them now, I said, son, I'm a square now. What? Yeah, I'm a square. I'm a nerd. I'm a proud one too. It's really, yep. I read books, the whole thing. I ain't trying to get no fights, none of that. I stopped banging. I said, son, I stopped banging when I was doggone 28 years old. If I'm almost 50, man. So if I throw sets now, start set tripping and all that, yeah, I'm a fake game banger. 'Cause I ain't been
Yeah,
banging since I was 28. They probably do some new shit. I don't even know what they're doing.
right.
So
You gonna and it's gonna hurt.
yeah, I know plenty of people out there that bang, used to bang or whatever. I know plenty of people out there that used to sell dope, but I'm not really trying to be in that crowd no more. Sorry, I'm not. Not that ain't my thing. I'm an L7 now. I am. I'm a proud one too. But I put hands on you, but I'm an L7. You know?
Yeah. But you know what? That ain't a bad way to be. It's a
Yeah,
nice
I'm an L7 that lifts 400 pounds.
right. It's a nice peaceful life, I say.
It is.
Nice
It's
peaceful
really
life.
no drama.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knocking on my door. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
have no issues. I ain't got to
Mm-hmm.
worry about getting jumped. I ain't got to worry about getting shot.
You ain't worried
I'm
about
chilling.
nobody else's woman being at your house and you didn't know she had another man and he coming over there looking for her.
Back. And the funny
All
thing is, I don't let everybody in my house. You got to be family to come in my house. You come in this house, you family.
mm-hmm.
Now, I've made some mistakes and invited people in my house that I thought was family, but it wasn't. Okay, you can get over that. But
Mm-hmm.
you come in my house, you go through my threshold, you family.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah,
And we love and respect each other for that. Yeah.
that's right.
Well, I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. All of my people that watched the show and they commented. I appreciate all of y'all for supporting me tonight.
Hmm.
This is what we've been waiting to do, and then our next show will be generally every other week. We do a show, but I'll see you on live maybe tomorrow, depending on how you wake up tomorrow, right?
I got a house I'm building right now. I ain't thinking about live for a minute. I'm just coasting.
Okay, well, you take care, and we're gonna end the show this evening. And I appreciate you, and love you.
I love you more, sis. BB for Hodie. Take care.
You too. Talk to you later.
Peace.